Hello there, welcome on board, and thank you so much for joining me on the first episode of this fresh season of the Agribusiness Weekend Show. My name is Joy Osamujame, and if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, this is the right time to do so. Follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll be first to get prompt updates whenever anything pops up. Welcome to the Agribusiness Weekend Show and welcome on board. Welcome back. This is the Agribusiness Weekend Show, and like I said, it is a fresh start. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, you're right in time. Now, we are going to be discussing a very important topic for starting this show, and some of you may be wondering if 2023 looked like this, like this. What will 2024 look like? And I have so many people who are in the agribusiness sector and they are already complaining. Now, today we want to focus on key ways to succeed in agribusiness. Key ways to succeed in agribusiness. And on set with me is the CEO of Bofams Limited, Tunde Banjoko. Thank you so much for joining me, sir. I want to specially thank you. I think the last time we had a session, I thanked you, and I can't stop but keep thanking you. Tunde Banjoko is one of my guests who is always available. Thank you so much for always being there for us, for Corporate Farmers Media. We love you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
And you are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Tunde, let's talk about key ways to succeed in agribusiness. Now, I believe that if there are key ways to succeed in agribusiness, that means people must be failing. Yeah. Now, what makes agribusiness fail?
Of course, that's the title of my book.
So I'm writing on point.
So they should get a copy of the book then.
Yeah, so please do.
That's on a lighter note. There are several reasons why this business fail. And so I think it's just a flip of the other one you asked.
Okay.
So if there are reasons why people succeed, meaning if you don't pay attention to those things that makes people succeed, you're definitely likely to fail.
So, now, what are the things?
So, okay, maybe just to jump into it, why people fail, to start from where you started from, is probably people ignoring some warning signs from maybe professionals at the very beginning, and people having some wrong assumptions about the industry. I think that's one key reasons why people fail. Funny assumptions, unverified assumptions, through which and on which people jump into the business.
Today, okay, let's stop there. Funny assumptions, unverified assumptions. Now, this is the Agribusiness Weekend Show, and what we do here is to bridge the communication and information gap. Now, when we say funny assumptions, unverified assumptions, give us examples.
Okay, let me give an example now. Funny assumption is somebody who has never done anything before, telling you, I'll plant tomato and in 3 months, I'll make this much. What you have not done. It's a funny assumption. Somebody called me, I think that was early in the year, and told me, he told me he has never done anything in agric, that he was told and he has read that if he does cucumber and watermelon on about maybe 5 to 10 hectares, it's going to make these millions in 3 months.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, if that number is true, no house will remain in my village. Because all my village will turn to
cucumber house. Okay.
So that's one of the funny assumptions. Somebody tells you, come and say, banana is 5 months, is 6 months. And you just ask them, where did you see banana maturing in 6 months? Someone will say, cassava is 6 months, is 7 months. What you've not done. I remember one of these agri-tech company, of course, I'm not going to mention name, approached me, maybe that was 4 years ago or 3 years ago, that they want to start their project in Ogun State. They want to leverage on my brand to push what they are, and they were offering, I think, was it 40% on tomatoes in 3 or 6 months. And I asked them, the team that came to have the meeting with me, have you guys done anything? And they said, no. You've acquired the land, fine. Why not go and do a season first before coming to raise fund from the public? But what did they do? They pushed out the product. Of course, they've crashed. I don't need to mention their name. And then they now came back to me that since I said what they are promising is too much, they will reduce what they are promising the public to maybe 35% and add it to their marketers' commission. Of course, it crashed because I know just mere seeing what you have not done before. So you don't even know the accurate timing. You don't know the cost of execution. Yet you are promising return. So it's bound to fail. You are supposed to, in every project, there's something called pilot phase. Okay. Meaning you test run your ideas, your hypothesis. That's why most investors, people say, why people not giving money? Investors are giving money. But they prefer, most times, genuine investors prefer to give money to those who have also lost their money and those who are also putting their money into what they are doing. Not somebody who has a hypothesis or idea. Some young chaps called me, like, I get calls every day. Called me like a month ago that they want to start something and they want to raise 200 million. I said, that's fine, good, 200 million. Have you guys done anything? They said, no, but we want to leverage on our contacts and we get this fund, and then they now say, okay, but we don't mind, we'll come to your farm, we'll use your farm at some point. I said, so you use my farm to go and raise money. When the EFCC is now looking for,
they come to your farm.
They come to me. I said, no, so you can't use that. You go and do something, test on your idea in 12 months, then go to the market and raise money, even though that's too early. So that's some of the reasons why people fail. People are just driven by the likely numbers. Talking about why people fail, something is also, I was consulting for a company recently, and by the time I told them how they could make over $1 billion from that farm, they went haywire. But of course, you should know that people are only driven by the potential they can make. But what about the other things that you need to pay attention to? So when you are just driven by the numbers, you are bound to fail.
Now, agribusiness is a good investment. I don't know if you bear me witness. Yes, it's a good investment. And just like you said, I don't know, okay, so should people start looking away from the ROI, which is the return of investment, when investing in agribusiness? Or, okay, so when you come to me and say, okay, Joy, invest in my farm, I'll give you 40%. I'll say, no. Because you give me 40%, that means you are not real. What should people look out for?
So, 40% is already a red flag.
Really?
Already a red flag. Because you ask yourself, what are they doing? Okay. What are they going to do? Why are banks not giving everybody 40%? Like, I met a banker at a conference that I spoke some months back, and he told me, he said, once you promise me anything above inflation, I know it's a scam.
Wow.
He said, once you promise me anything above inflation, it is a scam.
That's sense.
And he said, so that's one of the yardstick I use. So what I tell people is when they are promising you 40%, 35%, it's already a red flag. Okay. So you must be careful of the ROI. It's one major thing because agri has a lot of dynamics and everything has to be factored into the analysis. So if money is the only driving force, those are the first set of people that lose their funds. All right. So
if you are thinking of going into agribusiness investment, too much ROI is a red flag. A red flag. So look out for ROI. Those people that will tell you, we'll give you 80% of your money. Sister, borrow shoe. Brother, I'll borrow you my own. And run for your life so that you don't get your hands burnt. Now, let's talk about the people who are players in agriculture. Now, if I am going into a farming, I'm going into a value chain of agriculture, what are the things I should look at for next year to succeed?
Okay, so there are quite a number of things. Maybe I'll just touch on about 2 or 3 of them. Number one is the motive. I'm going to go back to the motive. Okay. If your motive is just, let me just quickly make money, you are likely not to do well in agri because the numbers are never static. Somebody called me yesterday afternoon and I gave him the numbers we are making in our poultry and the numbers we are making on our cassava farm. I said, do you see that I have enough reasons to japa? I said, but the motive is behind this number. Why I won't abandon it? Because when it was good, you are there.
Yeah.
When it's not too good, you are also there.
Okay.
Because when it's also looking bad, a lot of people will run out. Those of you that stay, you get the benefits. I said, that's the logic. That you only look for ways around. How do I reduce my cost of operations, cost of production, and all that? What can I outsource? Where can I leverage? We'll get to that's one of the major points. So that's one of the things I will tell anybody. The motive must not just be financial. Am I saying it's your reward is in heaven? No. I'm not saying your reward is in heaven.
Heaven is not a farm.
Yeah. So you still make financial reward, but I tell people, not thinking of one cycle when it comes to agriculture, you must think of a bit of medium term, long term. So your motive should be, I want to probably contribute to food sustainability of your country. I want to make impact. I want to see how I can contribute to reduce cost of, food, and, reduce inflation. There should be other motive. Or am I in this thing for a long term, short term? Yes, there are other things you can do short term, but your motive must be pure and it must not be just for money. Because think of every other profession. If the motive for studying medicine is just for money, if the motive for being a teacher is just for the money. So the same thing, if you see agric as a profession, then the motive should not be only money. So that's one thing that I've seen, that if you want to succeed, you must, seeing hunger in the nation should propel you to want to do something.
Yeah.
What can I do to ameliorate this hunger in our nation? So the motive is one thing I can speak about for a very long time.
Okay.
Your motive must be clear. Then the other thing, which I think I mentioned earlier, but now looking at it in detail, the knowledge of what you want to do is very important.
Go for knowledge.
The knowledge of what you want to do. Like I give some examples. Somebody just tell you, or assume, I'll do this, I'll make this, I'll do this. Those are assumptions. You can't go into a project spending 5 million, 10 million on assumptions. Go for knowledge. And I've been in sessions whereby after giving free information, you tell people, I have a book, get that book will be of help to you. People say, 4,000 is too much. And then you also see somebody who wants to go into a project of 30, 40 million. You say, okay, let's put a feasibility report for you so that you have, some people, by the time you tell them, okay, I'll charge you this token, I'll charge you that token, they run away. Because they are enjoying the one they are getting for free. They want to call you to speak for 2 hours for free, call you again tomorrow morning, speak for 2 hours for free, call you again.
The knowledge is money.
I'm sorry to say, most of our Nigerians enjoy that. Let them call you. Some will even call you at odd hours of the day. But later on you realize some of them probably don't even have any plan. Somebody called me some days ago and said, I want to book a time. I need some of your time in the office. I said, no, I'm a farmer. I don't just give time. If you can't speak to me on the phone, I'm sure you don't have anything to say. Or drop it in my email, I'll reply. So people should go for knowledge. You want to succeed, knowledge is key. Yeah, and like we say in business, it's either you lose your capital to gain knowledge or you use your knowledge to protect your capital. So if you go for knowledge first, your capital will be protected.
I think we should reiterate that. It's either you use your capital to gain knowledge or you use your knowledge to protect your capital.
Yeah. So if you value your capital, what it means now is you wouldn't mind paying some token. I will call it token. To get that knowledge, every information that you need. So that people should place a premium on that. And so that's another thing. Then maybe one other thing, maybe I can add one or two more, is when you're also now going into agric. We said don't let your motive be money.
Yeah.
But you still have to run it as a business. So now that's the part you have to now start talking about money.
Okay.
You now have to start looking at, you know, our poultry, for example. I'm sure if you see this video, our MD will say, Oga can disturb when it comes to, because you have to look at the numbers. You have to run it as a business. So that's the part where you can make your money. Okay, you know, a lot of farms just run, they don't pay attention to numbers, no structure. How would you survive?
That's why it's particular to look at agriculture beyond farming.
So it's beyond farming. Yeah. So now when you start treating it as a business, okay, this arm of the business, how are we doing? This arm of the business, how are we doing? This arm of the business, how are we doing? What can we do? Having strategy sessions, having accountants, having lawyers, having specialists in different areas. You don't have to have them in-house as a farmer. Okay. Most of mine are outsourced.
Great.
That's why people ask you at times, okay, what's your staff strength? I don't even know what to say because most of my stuff are outsourced. I don't have to gather 20 people in one office every morning. Yeah. I'm paying salaries, you know, paying your lawyers, but I have every day, one of them. You know, my board chairman, some people say, you're copying. Is your wife not complaining? I said, no, that, you know, the way I'm managing myself and the way I outsource my things. So I'm able to do more with less people.
Today I see you are a man with great experience. Now, let's run down to, tell us one of your greatest experience while you were a child and what you learned from it.
When I was a child, that one is jam question. And what I learned from it. Maybe not when I'm a child, maybe when I was maybe an adult. Okay. One of the experience I can't say maybe an experience, I can talk about what I learned as a young businessman. Is that to him that has more shall be given. Okay. To him that has none, even the little he has shall be taken away.
You're quoting Bible.
But that's what you asked what I learned. You know, that principle is what I learned as a young man in business, that people don't want to deal with you when you have nothing. When you are at zero level and you have nothing to offer, nobody wants to deal with you. And so one of the things I had to do as a young man is to make sure I have something to offer, so that people can be comfortable to deal with me. Great.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. So have something to offer so that people can be comfortable to deal with you. Now, let's go back to success in agribusiness. Talking about government policies, where does it play in succeeding in agribusiness? So if people should succeed in agribusiness come 2024, where does our government policies, what role does it play?
It plays a major role, really, a major one, if I may say, because the policy will drive even the funding into that space. If the policy is good, people will be motivated and comfortable to put their investment in agric. So the policy of the government, the body language of the government is very important. For example, if the government, the way they did in the last few years, wants to increase our local production for some of the commodities like rice that we've seen, and which eventually happened, our local production increased, but now because of their own internal cost of production, they are struggling to meet up with the foreign counterpart in terms of price. So they can't compete favorably even within the local market. Wow. So now, if the policy had been favorable, if I could put some numbers to it, because I had to write about it about a week ago or so. For example, the foreign rice in Nigeria market as of today is going for about 60,000 average
for bag of rice. For bag of rice. Just to chop rice. So.
And then we have 2 brands of the local rice.
Short grain and I think I saw that in your tweet.
Okay, one is going for 40, one is going for 52.
No. What's the specialty?
For 56 rather.
56,000.
42 and 50. So somebody will now ask himself that the foreign is selling for 60. The locals are going for 42 and 56. Why buy local? Let me just buy the foreign. Because I asked the woman, because I actually asked, not a Google conversation, and the woman's okay, this 40,000, and they say they soak water small. Sorry for using the word pigeon in, that this one soaks water, this one, but some people would rather say, soaking water or not soaking water.
Rice, not rice.
Rice is rice. Let me eat rice. But the truth of the matter is, since we have a local brand of rice going for 56, that's high. Because the foreign one is. But if we have good local one going for below 40, and then the foreign ones are doing 50, 60, I'm sure nobody will patronize that.
Yeah.
And then our local production will increase. So that's why. And then, the ban on maize at some point also pushed a lot of people going into maize cultivation, rice cultivation. So that's why the policy makes people comfortable to know, where do I put my money? Will the government support my operations if I go in this direction? People want to bring in machinery. People want to, I was talking to one of my processor, a big processor in Nigeria, and was telling me, say, for the last 1 year, I paid for equipment over $700,000, and the bank is telling me there's no dollar. So my money is in the bank. I can't get money. I can't get back equipment either, So the policies around importation of agri equipment, now even the cost of equipment has gone up, tractors, bulldozers, because of the government policies on.
And the whole thing is like a chain. By the time those things goes up, cost of production goes up, and here our food goes up.
So it's a chain. So then when you see, when the new president came in July, they gave about 11-point agenda. A lot of people were excited. I was invited to several TV stations to speak on that policy, funny enough. And I pray some of them would not even put a gun on my head, because I was so excited when I saw those policies. And I was telling some of them at those stations that by December, everything in Nigeria would have settled. But I put a clause to it that if all these things are done, and I also put another clause, funny enough, that a lot of people can attest to it, that if the ministers for agri are complete technocrats and not politicians, and they drive this policy, Nigeria will change in the next few months. But
no, we'll come back to the board, because there is so much to say. Now, my hopes were raised up, and now it's just been crashed. But let's take a short break. But we'll come back. The show continues. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, my name is Bofams, founder of Bofams. It's nice being on the Agribusiness Weekend show. I hope you have subscribed, follow them on social media. This is a platform where you're going to get agricultural information on different aspects of the agricultural sector. Please subscribe to their YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. It's still the Agribusiness Weekend show, and Tunde Banjoko is still on set with us. Thank you so much, sir. You're doing amazingly well.
Thank you.
Now, before I ask you other questions, let me ask this question. Now, you talked about exaggerated ROIs. When it comes to investments, people should look out for. Are there other red flags you'd want our audience to know about?
Maybe other red flags. Maybe I'll put it this way. That could be a red flag. Is do a bit of due diligence
before you do any
before you commit the funds.
Okay.
One, what are they saying or claiming they are doing? Okay, they claim they have a farm. Can you confirm the farm? They claim they've been in business for. Can you confirm how long they've been doing it? Have they done it before? Did they pay people? Who are those behind this company? Because some of them are just, ideas just pop up in their mind. They go and create a website and then market the idea, not even knowing anything about what they are talking about. And most of them, when they call some of us and you try to tell them, oh God, why not do it this way, right? They just feel, no. You are going to spoil market. Let me use that word.
Okay.
And they just choose. And they pride on the, should I use the word, gullible minds of our citizens. They know we always like to make money fast. So I would say for you as an investor to watch for your greed. Because that is one thing those guys play on. So do your due diligence. Confirm the guys running. Do they have any track record? Do they have anything to show for what they claim they want to do? and that is good.
All right.
Yeah.
So watch out for exaggerated ROIs. Do your due diligence before you commit funds. So this 2024, make sure you don't get your hands burnt in investing in agribusiness. But meanwhile, you can make it so much in agribusiness. Am I right?
Yes, you
so
can.
Agriculture or agribusiness, I used to say, is a world of unending opportunities.
Yeah.
So you can make billions of naira from agriculture.
Yeah.
All you just need to do, one, just like our guest has said, watch out for exaggerated ROIs if you're an investor, and two, do your due diligence before committing your funds. Now, if you are a player,
Yeah.
go for knowledge.
Go for knowledge. I also had one or two things for players. You know, we talked about motive, we talked about
Go for
knowledge.
motives. Your motive should be genuine.
What's your motive? Then I also say focus, because that's why people also fail in agric. People want to do 10 things
at the same time.
You know, you'll be talking to some people at times, but yet what is in their mind? They want to do I want to do cow, I want to do layer, I want to do pepper, I want to do cassava.
You know, they are doing testing.
I want to do.
It's called testing.
No. It's not just testing. No, they are not testing. They believe they've seen the returns on the different products, and in their head they have bought house with the return. They have bought lands with the return. So they want to, even while you are talking to them, in their head they are stuck, and they call it then it's integrated farming. Even though it's integrated, you probably start with one or two and grow. So that's one area a lot of young farmers miss it, or people who are coming as
don't be
investors.
too quick to conclude, or don't be too quick to go into other things. Too many things.
Yeah, you
concentrate
must
on one. Be a master.
One or two.
Of one or two.
You know, focus, have a niche if you can, because when you have a niche, it helps your growth and your speed. And maybe to add just one more for practitioners, don't do solo work anymore. You know, people ask me, I'm involved in a lot of things. Collaboration. Share risk.
That's true.
Share risk. Don't
be alone. Don't be an island.
Yeah, don't be an island. Because if you think, yes, you might have the fund, but somebody else might have the knowledge. And you know, we said something about knowledge and capital the other time. So you must leverage other people's network and information. So that's one thing you must know. If you want to place fast, big in this industry called agric, look for people of like minds. Share thoughts, share idea. The era of I'm the MD CEO, I'm the this, I'm the that
has ended.
That era has ended.
Just collaborate.
Collaborate where there's need for collaboration and where there's opportunity for collaboration.
And I think one last thing you mentioned the last time was see agriculture as a business.
Yeah.
Have a business mind, so go into it like you want to make money, not go into it for money, but go into it that you want to make money. That way you'll be able to see it as a business.
Impact.
Yes, you want to create impact,
because it's the impact that makes it sustainable. Because as long as, you know, I wrote in my book, as long as human being exists, there's no alternative for food.
Exactly. So food is an unending
So you must see that I want to keep solving this need, this problem.
Yes.
And as I'm solving this problem, like we say, when value keeps going out of you, value will keep coming back.
Exactly.
So as long as I keep giving value to humanity, humanity will give me value back.
Tunde, I wish we can take more, because you're dispensing a lot of wisdom so much, and I really want my audience to learn, because I've had contact with so many persons, and they tell me, no, poultry, no. I put my money in poultry. Oh, poach me, show me, push me, do this one. But I'm sure that if they hear from you these lessons that you've shared here today, a lot of mistakes will be avoided, and a lot of gains are profits are going to be made. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Joy.
But before you go, let me do one more thing with you. One thing. Now, if you answer this question with a yes or a no, you fail.
With a yes or a no?
You fail.
Okay.
So don't answer with yes or no.
So what should I answer with?
Anything. Anything.
Any other thing, but not yes, not no.
Absolutely. Something. But don't do yes, no. And I'm going to be very, very swift with the answer. Are we good to go?
Let me finish.
Okay. Good to go. Good to go. All right, let's take this. Today, did you eat this morning?
I've not.
Okay, let's let that pass. Okay. Are you practicing in the field you went to school for?
I'm not.
Are you married?
I am.
I'll give it to you. You tried. Thank you so much once again for coming to the show. This is a package to just say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Joe.
And we have great goodies inside too.
1 million naira check.
The key to the house, to the estate.
Thank you so much, Agribusiness Weekend. I appreciate this so much.
Thank you so much. And so it's a wrap. This is where we come to the end of today's episode of the Agribusiness Weekend show. I'm so sure that you've learned a lot on key ways to succeed in agribusiness. Now, till I come your way next time, same time on Saturday, 10 a.m. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Joy Osamudiamano, and do have a lovely weekend.